You know, I've read some amazing stats about Frank Lampard, but I don't think these two stats are going to surprise everybody. Okay, first of all, the entire time that Frank has managed Chelsea, they've conceded 1.5 goals every single game, for every game they've had.
State of that.
And when it's even worse when it comes to away games, they average 2 goals conceded every away game under Frank Lampard.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
Terrible.
I just want to know when people are going to
up.
start seeing this. I want to know.
Do you know
people...
if this was Emre, he'd be getting destroyed right now.
I mean, ripped apart. Because it's good old Frank, English legend. You know, man. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. He's a fraud. I'm not hearing it.
He beat Crystal Palace 4-0. He must be the real deal, surely, guys.
Yeah, you know. Not like £200 million. Look, I know this might sound crazy. Give any one of us guys the money that he's had with Chelsea's side and we'll beat Palace. The money he's had is bonkers.
Do you know he started already with the market?
Half of that and I'll get in shape to play for the whole 90 minutes.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Yes. Welcome to episode 31 of FPL Bros. And we're recording a little bit later this week. It's already Friday, but how are you guys doing?
Decent. Not too bad myself. Just finished watching the Villa game.
That's right. Yeah.
So here, not so bad.
Yeah, unfortunately we're coming back a bit too late to help people with their teams, but still, you can still take us up on our predictions. This week's episode is brought to you by ABC Beer. So that's ABC Golden Lager Beer. When we say beer, we mean ABC Golden Lager Beer. And I can tell by the silence that it's just completely gone over your guy's head.
What is that one? I've never heard that one before.
I'm not sure what it is.
Jamie, you didn't see those ABC Golden Lager Beer ads when you...
No.
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind. It's a bit of a throwback, but used to have these adverts for
Go on YouTube and look at that advert.
Yeah, you should actually find the ABC Golden Lager Beer adverts.
You heard it here first, guys. Take a look at this advert and let us know what you think of that. Is it actually legit or is he making stuff up?
Oh my gosh! Oh, prepare to eat your words.
No, it's legit. It's legit. It's brewed by Ghana Guinness Breweries.
Thank you.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
called Alphabet Golden Lager Beer.
Yeah. Okay. Then. I was a little bit off, but I'm pretty certain it used to be ABC.
No, it's ABC, but they use that's their logo if you like. But the name of the company is Alphabet.
Alphabet. Oh, okay. Then there you go. And when we say beer, we mean ABC.
It's original, honestly.
Beer. Okay then. Now
I thought, wow, we've got some sponsors.
That's right. We're moving on up. So
I love ABC beer. It tastes great.
You need to put more feeling into that.
Sorry,
right?
I was caught off guard.
They're trying to shift units, man. They're trying to 6 units.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Okay, so game week 5. I will start with what I got, which is I got 61 points. No, I got 76 points. Oh yeah, I got 76 points, but that's a -4, so it's actually 72 points. Kane and Song, my captain Kane. Actually, my game week was actually saved by Wan-Bissaka because he actually scored a screamer, didn't he, at Newcastle? And I remember for the past 2 or 3 weeks, I've been complaining about him a lot. I was like, he's done in my team. He's going, but 8 points. But that still might just be a parting gift because I'm not sure about Man United and their clean sheets. But anyway, that was what I got, and that took me up to about 168k in the rankings. So it's not brilliant, but considering the kind of season that a lot of people are having, I'll take that. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
Yeah.
I got 80 points -4, so I ended up with 76. Kane captain did us well, 32 points there. Rash Daddy returned for me. Got a bit nervous, but he brought the goods in the end, 15 points there. And then Taylor got me a clean sheet, and Rodriguez got me an assist with Sterling scoring and getting me some bonus points as well. In terms of my regrets for that week, I did transfer out Werner and Adams, who hauled. So I was a bit disappointed, but, it happens. And, the two I brought in still got me points anyway, so it's not the end of the world.
80 is very respectable. Well, sorry, 76 is very respectable still, though. Big J?
I got 61.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the best week for me, but yeah, I mean, it was just not great. I captained Salah, I got 14 points there, and I had Son who got me 13, and then I had Ings as well, and Calvert-Lewin, of course. That was pretty much it. But then, surprisingly, like one of my biggest point hauls was Pope, who kept a clean sheet in goal, had 6 saves, and got all 3 bonus points. So like it was a good time for him. And then to say thanks, I transferred him out this week.
Oh no!
But you've got to do it. Well, I mean, like I said, I'm saying bye-bye to Wan-Bissaka. It's good if you've had enough of a play, but they still do one good thing for you when you get rid of them.
Yeah. Like, because it was only that when we said, oh, like, let's check our last week's points. I checked it. I was like, flipping heck, he did all right, He's gone now, but he did good last week. But I was like, look, I can't have it, because before that it was like 1s, 0s, 1s, 2s. It was like, all right, cool, you got your 11 points, and now I'm saying bye. Although I took him out, and I brought in Martinez, who, like we were just saying before the pod, that unfortunately Bamford had a wonder game and got a hat-trick against him. He still got points though, but it wasn't 11.
The main thing is he's cheaper than Pope though, and I know. I seriously doubt he's going to do worse than Pope.
No, I don't think so. That's what I mean, long term, and I can invest the money somewhere else in my team. That's what I was thinking.
I see, that's the logic right there. And anyway, I think the average was 60 points, so you managed one
over the average.
Yeah, it was good. You want to be beating the average generally. It shows you're moving in the right direction. All right, then, wonderful.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
As I suggested in the chat, I thought we could just quickly, I don't know if anyone's got any thoughts of this. As far as the season goes, do we think it's too early to start talking about whipping boys, or are there one or two teams you can always say, yeah, I'm captaining whoever plays against them?
West Brom.
Yeah.
Probably Fulham, but I'm not too sure on Fulham yet, but definitely West Brom.
Yeah, I think so too. I think West Brom are definitely there. Like they're at the beginning of, if you've been listening since game week 1, we were talking about it early. We were saying that, all right, Fulham are definitely down at the bottom, West Brom are down at the bottom. We were saying that we could predict who was getting relegated, but I don't know. It's proving to be a little bit different because of the way the Premier League's shaping up, and it seems anybody can beat anybody, but West Brom can't beat anybody. It seems.
Hello.
Hey James.
How you doing?
Yeah, we're good. We're just talking about the games midweek, so we're just talking about who are whipping boys at the moment.
Ooh, I don't think it's kind of Fulham, but I don't think there are.
You think it's too early to designate a team as a whipping boy?
The thing is like, I still think West Brom have fight. I heard you say West Brom. I still think they have fight because of Bilic. I think they will beat some really good teams to make an example of them. I think Fulham are a little bit soft, but they have the capability of beating teams every so often too. They've made some decent signings and that sort of stuff. So I just don't think there are whipping boys at all. I think every team can beat every team. I personally think this is probably one of the most exciting seasons we've had in a long time. It's just such a shame that it's happening behind closed doors.
Yeah. Well, you might have a point with with West Brom, because they do have Ivanovic, and he's playing for them, for example, and he's experienced. He's not new to the whole Premier League thing. He's got bags of experience, so who knows? That might have a positive effect on their team. And quite a few people I've seen have transferred Johnston in as well as their goalkeeper. He's only 4.5. and you might get a lot of save points. So that's one thing. But I mean, whether they're whipping boys or not, I don't expect them to win many games. That's for sure. We'll
Guys,
see.
I just had a look at some of the previous game weeks, and I just found that you get on average 4 to 5 teams securing a clean sheet. Now, considering you have 4 defenders and most people play 3, it's very unlikely for you to have a backline of full clean sheets. I think it is definitely worth considering getting very cheap defenders, because you don't really expect to get clean sheets often, and just investing in the midfielders, because there seems to be goals coming from midfield a lot this season. What are your thoughts on that?
Do you know what the stats were last year for clean sheet?
No, but I definitely remember a lot more teams were getting clean sheets last year.
Exactly. I think it's a different season. It's a different ball game.
Yeah, definitely.
Moment.
I think it's really hard to defend at the moment. I was listening to a different podcast, and they were talking about, like, they were saying, like, is it like, are we getting too hung up on, like, defenses being perfect and, like, star defenders and things like that? Because it seems like it doesn't matter who you have or whatever's happening, like, you're gonna ship goals. Like, goals are coming regardless. It's just like damage control almost.
Yeah, you can be 3-0 up 1 minute, and every one of your fans thinks, your team's coming back, and then next thing you know, it's 3-0 and you're just the bottle jobs again.
Literally. Oh, look at Chelsea.
Look at Spurs.
You could not save yourselves from mentioning names. All right then.
I
think Eric's got a point, because if you're paying 4.5 for a defender, or even there's some for 4 million, and there's other defenders who are 6 or 7 million, and they're keeping the same amount of clean sheets, then you could save yourself like 3 or 4 million to spend on beefing up your midfield.
Yeah,
makes sense.
My eyes are on Trent.
Yeah, I still think Trent is a special case, because he's a lot of the time, although he's not as far forward as Robertson so far this season, but he's still just Trent, and I'm gonna hang in there to my detriment. We'll see what happens, because not only are clean sheets hard to come by, but I think with all the unpredictability of the league, I like my creature comforts. I just look at who has shown that they could do it in the past, and that's who I just gravitate to, because I don't want to be too clever. I still have nightmares about Pepe, And people listen to last season's podcast.
Trent's got started yet. I think Trent is going to have a big season, and it's just begun. I think he's going to start getting free kicks. He's going to start doing all of that.
We'll see.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Yeah, and the other thing I mentioned in the group chat is that a lot of active managers wildcarded last week. I'm not going to say a lot of managers generally, because there's about 7 million teams, and a lot of teams, people just literally set their team at the beginning of the season, and then they don't touch them at all. But the active managers, the ones who are in the FPL community, who talk about their teams, who look at stats and all the rest of it, certainly a lot of like big FPL sites and podcasters wildcarded last weekend, and I noticed that generally speaking they were going for the same sort of 4 or 5 players. So if I remind myself on who they were, Martinez was definitely one, Son, Kane, Rodriguez, Calvert-Lewin if they didn't already have him, and who else was there?
Sterling?
Not as much.
Okay.
A lot of people brought in. That's pretty much it, unless I've missed anyone. And if we concentrate on those 4 or 5, what do we think? Are these? Say again.
I called him last time, and he's increasingly looking like he's going to start scoring goals.
Who's that?
Rodrigo for Leeds.
Okay.
I'm talking about the wildcard template. Rodrigo wasn't on there. I mean, are you saying he should have been?
Yeah, I think so.
What are you basing this on then? If people missed a trick by not putting Rodrigo in their team?
No, I think that people need to start watching out for him, because he's looking increasingly like he's going to score a goal. My connection is really bad right now here from Ghana. I'm not going to lie. I might have to come off the call soon.
Here's a special guest appearance. He just swoops in, drops a bomb, swoops back out again. Okay, we got you. Okay, does anybody have anything to say, though, generally speaking, on these players that people seem to be picking up on their wild card?
With those
Yeah,
five,
so
I think
would you like to go?
Martinez, everybody felt Martinez.
Yeah, it's true. So obviously Martinez has been keeping the clean sheets. That's why most people have been getting him in. Kane obviously getting those hat tricks. He's on penalty duties, and he had a brilliant game against United. So everyone kind of wanted to get him in. Then with regards to Son, he's been having a brilliant time as well. So that goes without saying. I think a lot of people are jumping on players in form currently, which isn't a bad thing to do. But I don't think that's the best way to use a wild card. Wild card is a long-term strategy, in my opinion. So you should really be looking at players and their consistency. Like you said, you would bring in Trent because historically Trent is returning. You know, he's proven. And that's what I would do if I was doing a wild card. Yes, I'd bring one or two template players who are playing, you know, having a good game. But I saw a lot of people also brought in Grealish. I wouldn't do that personally. I brought in Watkins, but I wouldn't bring in Grealish on a wild card. Does that make sense? I would bring in Grealish on a free transfer, but I wouldn't use my wild card to bring in Grealish.
No, I see what you mean. I mean, I've got Grealish, but I didn't use my wild card.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I agree. I think with looking at the five players, not one of them surprises me. Martinez, cheap option in goal, seems to be doing pretty well, keeping clean sheets. But the only other two I can really agree with would be Calvert-Lewin and Rodriguez, James Rodriguez, because I can see those guys being long term. I can see that continuing, like because it seems like they're playing as part of a system. Like Aston Villa are quite well protected at the back, hence Martinez getting a lot of saves and hence like him getting lots of points. Same with Rodriguez and DCL. Like they're the points of the attack. They've got a really attacking system here. He's usually assisting Calvert-Lewin, so you've got double transfer points there. If he's not assisting, he's scoring and vice versa, you know? Like that's usually how it works with that team at the moment. So I can see that. But I agree with Derek, like Grealish, it depends. Like, is he going to have a great season? I don't know. Like, is it because he's just signed this contract? We have to wait and see because I don't know. He hasn't shown enough for me yet.
Okay, well, I'll tell you why I picked Grealish. Number one, because as far as midfielders goes, he's not all that expensive. Or at least he isn't now. His price might still keep going up, but you know, he's not a Sterling, he's not a De Bruyne, he's not a Mane. Number two, he's like the talisman of Aston Villa. A lot of stuff goes through him. He wins all the free kicks. He takes a lot of them. And then the third reason is that his run is pretty good. I was trying to remember before which tough fixture he's got coming up. And on the 7th of November, he's got Arsenal. But apart from that, like you were saying before, Jamie, Southampton, Brighton, West Ham, Newcastle, Wolves might also be tough, but then Burnley, West Brom, Crystal Palace. So that's like a run of a good 8 or 9 games there where you could just kind of leave him in your team and not worry about him.
Yeah.
He had a shot off the line today. He had a shot stopped off the line today.
Yeah. And I mean, if that had gone in, we'd be having a different conversation. Do you know what I mean? So it's small margin. That's why I went through him.
Guys, I'm gonna take off now. Just make sure everything's sorted out as I'm here on holiday. I don't want to ruin.
Great.
Thank you for having me.
That's how we do.
Thanks very much.
You know we missed the beginning, but we do have a sponsor this week. Do you know who it is? Our sponsor is ABC Golden Lager Beer.
Who? You say again?
See,
I didn't want to hear that.
ABC, we're sponsored by ABC Golden Lager Beer. You know, ABC Golden Lager Beer.
We should be sponsored by Club Beer.
Club.
We'll look into that.
You guys back, so
don't drink and drive. All right then. I think you're right. The form players are definitely the Everton ones, but in terms of fixtures, the Spurs players, at least for the next 4, are looking good. But I will be looking to ship them on because they are expensive. And, you know, I'm eyeing up, for example, Kane to Aguero. That's something that I've got on my mind. Or I might go back to Werner. Who knows? So that's how I see it.
Okay.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Can we have a look at some of the results from last week? Was there anything that was surprising for you guys at all? Or was it just BAU?
Which one do you want to start with then?
Let's start with the Merseyside Derby.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. That was an interesting one. I wasn't. I think I was surprised because Everton really gave it. Like, I don't know, because we were at the beginning. I was saying I don't know, it can go either way kind of thing because of Everton's form and things. But I thought Liverpool would pip it. And to be honest, for all those who watch the game, they might say Liverpool actually won. So we should have to like. There's still things to talk about with that game, with the VAR decision against Mane, which was so unfortunate. So I mean, it wasn't. I wouldn't say it was a surprise, but it shows me that Everton are here to stay in the top six. They're not playing this season. Like they're going up against the big guys and they're showing them what's what as well.
Yeah, I think Everton played well. I think Liverpool played better than them. And obviously, yeah, that VAR decision to rule out Mane's goal was an atrocity. It shouldn't have stood and it should have been a goal. But nevertheless, I think in terms of the ability of the teams, Everton are definitely showing some fight. I think if they played again, especially at Anfield, they definitely wouldn't stand a chance against Liverpool. Van Dijk going off made a massive difference, especially with the aerial balls, which DCL managed to score a second goal from. But I do agree with what you're saying, that I can definitely see Everton being in the top six this season. And I think that's all because of James Rodriguez. And I think I read something in the newspapers about the Real Madrid board questioning Zidane's judgment because he let some brilliant players go already this season, and obviously Rodriguez was one of them. The one that Spurs, the defender, is it Reguilon?
Yeah, Reguilon.
Yeah, and there was another player as well that's left, so it's just like
they let Bale go, but
Bale as well.
When you're in charge of Real Madrid, you can't win with those people because he got them 3 Champions Leagues on the trot, and they were so unhappy with the guy that they brought in to replace him. They said, "Oh, come back, come back. You're the greatest player you ever have, and you know how to win the Champions." That's all we ever care about. And anyway, that's a discussion for another day.
One moment, I just want to mention something which is weird. I mean, I'm just, as we're doing this, I'm just looking at some stats on fantasy Premier League and things like that. And me and Derek were I feel like we were a bit harsh on Grealish because we were singing Rodriguez's praises, but Grealish and Rodriguez are on the same total points this season so far, and there's a 0.8 difference in their price.
But I think the Liverpool game had a lot to do with that, frankly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, any other results the week just gone that we're talking about? I think there's a couple more, aren't there?
Yeah, there were a couple more. The Chelsea game, I didn't expect them to draw that. But yeah, it's just a shock result for me. I just expected Chelsea to have won that game, but Southampton showed what they're made of. One of the shock results was obviously Villa beating Leicester. I never saw that coming.
I thought that Villa were good for it because Leicester in a bit of a disarray at the moment.
Really?
Yeah, and because they've had to plug a lot of gaps in that team. If I remember correctly, I don't think Soyuncu was playing. They don't have Pereira playing. They're still trying to find their feet without Chilwell. Vardy wasn't on the pitch either. So it was asking a lot of the players who were playing to do something. I mean, obviously Villa were a little bit lucky with the goal because I think it came in stoppage time, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't necessarily think Villa would win that one, but I think Leicester haven't impressed me all that much, and whereas Villa obviously they came off the back of a fantastic result.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I just wanted to say briefly with the Chelsea-Southampton game, I knew that Southampton would give them a game. I just knew it because we've been here before. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Obviously, they took a Tonkin last time round. I think it was off Spurs. Hasenhüttl is a good manager, and he has some players, and I think he just managed that game well. And Lampard started already with the mind games, and he said, "Yeah, I'm not going to win the title this season."
No one thought you were. What?
Maybe not, but if you spend £230 million of Abramovich's money, he's going to expect the title for that. Do you know what I mean?
Honestly, you've got to be in and around because look, Abramovich don't care. You forget Abramovich is Russian. English franc don't mean anything. I'll give you a season. That's what you get. You know what I mean? Last season you didn't have your transfer budget. This season you had your money.
True.
Let me see what's happening.
Ziyech didn't come to Chelsea to not win the title. Yeah. Werner certainly didn't come to Chelsea to not win the title.
100%.
And neither did flipping Havertz. All right.
Yeah.
And even though Thiago Silva is past it, he's not gonna want to sit there in a non-title winning team.
This is true.
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't know how he's nicking it. Like, because Arsenal, we bought Partey and we bought Gabriel, yeah? And people are already saying there's question marks over Arteta's head because we lost to Man City and we lost to Liverpool away. It's like, wait, what? how you put question mark? We were never going to win those games.
Well, generally speaking, I think they were moving in the right direction.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Shall we go on to predictions and player picks?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, then. So we'll start with the predictions, and I will try and stick to the big games. Obviously, the week's already started with.
I predict a Bamford hat trick. Just thought I'd put that one out there.
I predict a clean sheet as well. And
all right, cool.
Even though Carl Phillips is not going to play, I reckon they'll do fine without him. Clean sheet, Peter. All right then. All right. So tomorrow we've got West Ham at home to Man City.
West Ham, who lost their first 2 games, but then won their following 3 games. 3 games, and all their last 3 games, they scored over 3 goals, 3 or more goals, I should say. Sorry, I can see West Ham losing that game, but I can see City conceding. So I'll probably go for like a 4-2.
Okay, I see what you mean. I agree with you. I think City will go there and they'll get their 4 goals and they'll think, yeah, that's it, we're done. Do you know what I mean? We've done the job. They're known to do that. They're known to get their goals and sit back, and then West Ham are going to give it to them, and then they're going to nick 1 or 2. I agree.
Yeah, that makes total sense to me. I mean, West Ham are West Ham, and they're going to concede. But the Man City, again, it's not looking good for them. Fernandinho's out now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the defense is absolutely atrocious.
Also, Antonio.
When I saw that Champions League goal that they conceded, the player literally ran past the first player. Yeah. No one stopped them. Second player, he just stuck his foot out, kind of thing. Yeah. And then Antonio's going to have a lot of fun.
Fanny was so naive. To be fair, I thought that team played really well. And that dude who had who scored for them, was it Ferencváros? He's really good. I like the look of him. I like the look of that guy. I don't know his name, but he was impressed me. All right then, Man United and Chelsea. I guess it's going to be the game of the weekend, or at least that's how Sky Sports will sell it to us.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch that game.
I'm actually looking forward to it as well.
Okay.
I think it'll be a good game. I'm interested to see because Man United they feel like they're like God's gift on earth after they beat PSG. So it'll be interesting to see how they come back. You know, Ole's in. Give him the contract. Tell him to put whatever number he wants on it.
I saw Rashford telling Mbappe, if you want lessons on how to score, I'll give you tips.
Oh no.
No, I'm joking.
PSG lost the game. I don't think Man United won it. I think PSG lost it.
100%. I was watching that game and I was upset at the telly. I was like, what are you doing? Exactly. Like, this is Neymar, this is Mbappe, this is Di Maria, these are top players. What are they doing?
So yeah, I mean, I see goals. I can't call it though.
I see United win.
The exact same thing. I literally can't call this game, and I think it actually comes down to more than just it comes down to who shows up on that day. You know, when they say sometimes the better team on the day one, I think it's going to be one of those ones. It's not the better team that wins. It's going to be the team who shows up on that day that wins.
Interestingly enough, there might not be any Greenwood for United, and there's definitely not going to be any Martial. So that will be interesting. People are already talking about Twinzebi having to start in the centre of defence there. That could be interesting. Mm-hmm. Chelsea, it's possibly looking like they're clicking. We haven't really seen Ziyech though, have we, for them?
No.
They're not interested in defending at all. And last season, didn't this game finish 4-0 to United?
Yeah. Yeah. The reason I think United will have it, and the reason I think that is because Ole's got this weird spell over the top six sides, it seems, and he always does really well, especially at home against the top six sides.
It's true.
Yes.
So I don't know. I feel like they're going to be on a bit of a high. They're going to come to the game. Rashford's after winning free school lunches, he's also going to score a couple goals. Yeah.
You do it for the kids. Listen, all I will say is this: Timo Werner and Harry Maguire. That's all I'm saying. Anyway.
That is true. Yeah, but you don't understand that Harry's still feeling quite upset about like what happened over the summer. So you got to give him a chance, let him grow into the game.
We'll see. Liverpool and Sheffield United.
I mean, that's not really a big game, is it?
I suppose so, but a lot of people will be interested in what the result will be. I'm just going to say,
I reckon Liverpool should win that. Sheffield are not Sheffield from last season.
I know.
It's plain and simple. They don't have Henderson in goal, and for me, that just means that all the shots they're conceding, nobody's stopping them. I mean, that's not to say that Ramsdale's a bad keeper. He isn't. He's not bad, but man,
it's just not going so well for him.
No, he's getting shot stopping practice. That's for sure.
Sheffield have got 1 point this season. One.
Oh my God!
So
and we've been destroying Fulham and
they're all on the same point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We've been destroying Fulham and West Brom, but we haven't been ripping into Sheffield. Oh God!
Well, Fulham, West Brom, Sheffield, and Burnley total, they've got 5 points together.
All right, then. Shall we do one more and then go on to play picks?
Yeah, let's do. Wait, Arsenal, Leicester.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens there. What do you guys think? I'll let you go because I've got bias.
I think it's going to be 1-0 to Arsenal. Purely because Arsenal games don't seem to feature many goals, and Leicester are on a slightly worse position than Arsenal at this moment in time, as James would say. That's the only logic I'm using.
Derek?
I think it's a tough one. Sorry, I don't know. I think Arsenal might just grab it. Only because Leicester defence hasn't been great recently, and the reason why the defence hasn't been too great is because they are missing that figure in the middle of Ndidi. I feel like that's the reason why. Both teams don't have great defences, but I just do think Leicester's is a bit worse than Arsenal at the moment. So yeah, I just do think Arsenal have got better form right now. They've got a bit more confidence. Leicester are kind of taking the L's at the moment. So yeah, I just see Arsenal kind of edging it just about.
Well, I mean, I agree. I also want to say, so I agree Arsenal will probably just edge it. I feel like it's going to be a tight game, a bit of a pressure cooker, and then it might be just the one goal wins, and whoever gets it kind of thing. And that's just the way it's going to be. But I do want to highlight, just Thursday, Partey came and he made his debut, and he was unbelievable. Unbelievable. He's a top guy, and he played a different role to what we expected. He was far further up the pitch, and he was playing long through balls into Aubameyang, who was running onto them. So for 5 mil, keep your eyes on him. I'm just saying because no one plays them balls from midfield that he was playing from the middle of midfield straight down the throats of their defence, and it seemed quite interesting.
That Arsenal could do with at this moment in time, and if he's the man to do it, then yeah, okay.
One more fact: Arsenal have only lost 2 home games this year.
Jeez.
Only 2.
Man, Lampard's a fraud. I'm not hearing it anymore.
Oh my gosh.
That's my boy Arteta.
Out of 17 odd games, 17, 18 games, they've only lost 2 at home. They've won all the rest and drawn 2 of them as well. So brilliant form at home. Leicester, sorry, you're not taking this.
This is the fortress. Anfield Part 2.
Anfield Part 2. That sounds like that. That is actually scary.
Well, yeah, but we'll see what happens.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Okay then. Player picks. Who's ready to go first?
I'm ready to go.
All
right. First player pick for me is going to be the guy who I've chosen to be my captain this week, Harry Kane. I just feel like he's been rested midweek, number 1, so he's going to be fresh and raring to go. Number 2, not only has he been rested midweek, but he's actually playing on Monday, so he's got an advantage over all the other teams who play on Saturday and Sunday. They've had a little bit of rest, but he's had an even longer break. So that's the second reason why I'm going for him. And obviously the final reason is, he's playing against a Burnley team who have yet to win one Premier League game this season. So I just think, goals galore for Kane, because Burnley's defence is not as good as it was previously. They did have obviously a good clean sheet against West Brom last week, but prior to that, they've been conceding goals left, right, centre. So that's the reason why I'm going for Kane. And then the second player I'm going to go for is going to be, I think DCL is going to have a good game this week.
Yeah.
He's just one of those players, and I know everyone's got him, but it's just like, I don't know, I'm still a bit like taken aback, because you all remember at the start of the season I did kind of mug him off, and I do really, really regret my words now. But yeah, I just think DCL is going to have a brilliant week game this week. So yeah, those are my two player picks.
Mm-hmm.
Can't argue with that.
No, I can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Those are top picks. For me, I am going to go for Mopé from Brighton, who's playing against West Brom on Monday. West Brom been shipping goals and Mopé's been scoring them. He's pesky. He's a fox in the box kind of player, and I feel like he's going to have some joy on Monday evening against West Brom. As we just spoke about earlier, West Brom are our whipping boys along with Burnley and these other teams. Burnley, who Kane's playing against on Monday as well. So yeah, I can see some goals in the Brighton West Brom game. And then my other pick would be Mohamed Salah against Sheffield, who are also down at the bottom, fodder as well. But I feel like Salah's going to have fun. I have him captain this week, so I'm hoping for the best. And hopefully he gets a couple pens, maybe scores a screamer like he did last week. So something good. Hoping for good things.
Yeah. I'm not too worried about that. Okay, decent. All right then. Yeah, I'm going to mix it up a little bit. I'm going to go obvious and not so obvious. So obvious will be Mane. I think he's just as good as Salah in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he doesn't have pens, but he's just looking so energetic and like more of a complete footballer than ever before. I mean, he's even helping out with the defending. And even though he doesn't take quite as many shots as Salah, his shots tend to be better quality shots. I mean, it's the same old story. I've been saying this for a while now. So that's number one. Number two, I think it's worth keeping an eye on Wilfried Zaha. And the only reason I say that is because it seems like Hodgson wants to play him up front this season. So he's a midfielder playing out of position as a striker. And now he's got penalties. Milivojevic isn't starting. And he generally isn't on the pitch. So Zaha's winning the penalties and he's taking the penalties. So if you want to save a bit of money, and I know that Crystal Palace don't score a shed load of goals, but he's still somebody, if you've got a fifth spot, and you can stick him in there and you don't have to worry about him, because as usual, pretty much everything good that Crystal Palace do is going to go through him, and even more so now on penalties. I did find it funny though that somebody on Twitter, did you see him on Twitter?
No.
Somebody on Twitter said, "Should I get you in my fantasy team?" And he just replied, "No." He just doesn't care. Yeah, I'm gonna go against the man himself and say, have a look. Definitely have a look if you're stuck for ideas.
You're all about to witness a monumental throwdown.
Okay. Well, I think we can draw things to a close there, unless there was anything else. No. Okay. Thanks again for taking part in the pod. I know it's been a long old week and we're a little bit late today, but I think we've still got the goods for people. So yeah, I think I'm going to say good night.
Peace out, guys.
Good night from me.
Yeah. Green arrows all round. Bye bye.